All right, what's going on, guys? We are back with another Dokkan Battle video, and today there are some possible 11th anniversary leaks that are floating around. So before we really get started with this video, I went ahead and blurred out the whole screen so you can't really see what's going on here and what people are talking about. But if this holds up to be true, then this would be a, obviously a very big spoiler, a very big leak for the 11th anniversary. So if you don't want to know any of this stuff, if you don't want any of this, of course, take it all with a grain of salt, because it could all be nothing. It could all be something. We don't know for sure until Dokkan officially announces stuff. But nevertheless, when leaks go around, I know that it's a very divided kind of thing on whether people really want to see it because of their curiosity, or people that do not want to see it because they don't want to get spoiled. They want to go into it with fresh eyes and all that stuff. So I completely understand if you guys click off the video now, and I'll see you in the next one. So yeah, right now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to jump in and we are going to discuss this. So if you guys are still sticking around, let's jump into it. So looking at this Reddit post here, they are talking about that there is a French YouTuber that has info on units that will be headlining part 1 of the anniversary. He knew for the GDC that Gogeta was coming with next level animations. He knew that Gohan and Goten and Trunks were coming before GDC was even finished. And he knew that Gohan Revive into Trunks were coming with the same animation quality as Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Now, obviously all that stuff did happen. So if this is true, and there is a French leaker or a French YouTuber who has access to some leaks, whether it be through like someone who knows the game, someone who works on the game, whatever. If it is true that he was looking at this stuff and he was reporting these characters well ahead of time, then I think we can hold this to be true, right? So everything he says going forward, I would obviously take it with a grain of salt. We already talked about that, right? We are not taking anything that is said here as gospel, as 100% fact and truth, but we are taking it with an open mind. So he says he has someone who reliably told him those infos, but the thing is every unit he said would be coming were true. So I don't know about the anniversary one, but as I said, take it with a grain of salt. Yes, again, that's 100% fact, right? Take everything that is said with a grain of salt when it comes to leaks, because they're not always true unless they're coming from like a crazy reliable source. So we'll go into this. Let's see. The units that are coming for part 1 would be Evolution Blue Vegeta plus MUI Goku, and Super Saiyan 4 Goku plus Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And he says, I don't know if it's going to be fusing, attack skills, Gogeta, all that. So this right here being a headliner for part 1, I don't hate this. I don't hate this pick. I know a lot of people will be mad if we do get another Blue Vegeta, an Evolution Blue Vegeta, right? Because we did just get one for 10th anniversary, who has the, partner mechanic, whatever. What is it called? Oh man, I just blanked on it. If you have a Goku on the team, right? It's got the partner super, where he has that in there, and people hate this unit. People do not like this unit at all. He was probably like the bottom tier of all the units for the anniversary, which does really hurt because I am a big Vegeta fan. Now, when we saw the card art for the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta with MUI Goku in the background, that was instantly like one of those things that's like, dude, I would love to have a tag unit of this. I think that'd be so cool. So if that is a thing we are getting for anniversary, I wouldn't be mad. Like, I really wouldn't, because I think that is such a cool concept to have. And hopefully they, performs a lot better than the last Vegeta we got. And then obviously Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is something that, we inevitably are going to get because of the tag switch mechanic. It's something that, like, dude, duh. That's a big duh. We knew that was coming at some point. Now, I didn't expect it to be for anniversary, at least not this anniversary. But if that is something that's going to happen, that's a solid pick too. Now, him talking about not fusing and not knowing about fusing, so this is something I was going to go over in another video. It's been said before that if you look at like the odd anniversaries, it's typically always fusions, right? So we had the Gogeta in the first anniversary. Third anniversary was the LRs, the Vegito and Gogeta. You know, it was Goku and Vegeta that had a transformation into Vegito and Gogeta. Then we had obviously the 5th anniversary, which was the Blues. Then we had 7th anniversary, which was the Gods and the Super Saiyan 4s, which of course Blue Gogeta was an active skill, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was a transformation, so we did have that there. Year 9, we had Gogeta was prevalent, right? You know, we had the Broly, we had the Beast, we had the Gammas, but Gogeta was there. Now last year, for the 10th anniversary, we did get Vegito, we did get Gogeta, so a lot of people are thinking like, no more fusions, no more fusions. It's possible. Or they could just be an active skill, or whatever, kind of like how like the Gods have the Blue Gogeta as an active skill, the Super Saiyan 4s could have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as an active skill. It could be a thing, or it just could not fuse at all, kind of like the Kale and Kefla that we got earlier in 2025, right? We all thought that was gonna be a Kefla unit. Ended up they didn't fuse. It could be something along those lines where their fusion's not even in there. If this is the headliner for part 1, I'd rather not see it as part 1. I'd rather see it as part 2. Because then for here, they talk about how part 2, even without him being sure on part 2, he predicts Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Adult Super Saiyan 3 Daima Vegeta. He also says at least 2 units will have the same animation quality as Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Gohan Revived Trunks. Now I would assume it's whichever one are the Dokkan Fest would probably end up having that, probably Goku, or hell, Goku and Vegeta, if you wanted to do that, give them both those top tier animations. If not, it'd probably be Goku, and then it'd probably be the Super Saiyan 4s, if that is a thing. But yeah, man, this is a big like leak if this does end up being true, right? It is unfortunate, because if it is true, we're literally 2 weeks away from the reveal. So for someone to be like throwing the leaks around now does really suck. And I know, I'm adding kind of fuel to the fire by doing a video on this. However, of course, I made sure to say beforehand before we jumped in that you are 100% free to click away and click off without knowing any of this stuff, because I'm not just going to shove it down your throat unless you actually wanted to sit around and hear it. So that's really it, man. Now there was another thing here, another post on Reddit. So for anyone who wants some additional context about what's going on, it says, I'm French and I have been following said YouTuber for a long time now. So the same YouTuber that did talk about the headliners, like part 1, part 2. He said in his video that he knew about 1 or 2 characters that were coming thanks to his sources, but he didn't know specifically which part they were going to be released in. He then proceeded to make a list of propositions saying that the characters he knew about were hidden in them. The list goes as follows. So again, the characters that he knew about were going to be hidden within this list. So, we're gonna look at this, and obviously we're gonna be able to point that out based off what we just saw in the last tweet. So Beast Gohan Orange Piccolo tag unit and Super Vegito Super Gogeta tag unit. Very good concepts for both units, right? A Beast and Orange Piccolo is something we definitely, I think, all kind of want. Super Vegito and Gogeta is like one of those things that I don't think is going to come for a while, but is one of those like, that's going to be like the top tier tag unit, dude, that everybody's going to want. Like, you get a blue Gogeta and a blue Vegito, or Super and Super, dude, and people are going to go nuts. People are going to say like, oh, fusions, I hate it. But dude, if you released a tag unit of the biggest fusions out there, I don't think anyone's going to actually be mad when they end up being crazy. Another one here is Super Saiyan Namek Goku and Frieza plus Cooler. So, that would be a really cool one to have too. And that would lead into doing like the worldwide EZAs, right? The Super Saiyan Goku, the first Carnival unit, and then the Cooler Dokkan Fest unit, getting in their EZAs. That would be a very cool celebration to do this one with. I think that'd be very fun, dude. A Frieza and Cooler tag would be so cool. I think it'd be cooler if you get with my drift. UI Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta tag unit, which was one that was pointed out, as well as the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta tag unit. So this one was the one's pointing out as the possible part 1 for the anniversary. Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku and Kid Buu. Now I think Kid Buu is going to be here. I just don't think it's going to be anniversary. It could, it very well could be. They could do Kid Buu an anniversary. I think he's more than worth an anniversary treatment. I just don't want to see him in Anniversary right now. I do want to see an LR Kid Buu in game, and I know for me to say I don't want to see him right now is probably like taboo to like a lot of stuff I've said in the past. However, I don't want to see him right now in this Anniversary. I do want to see him this year as an LR, but I do not want to see him right now in this Anniversary. Just saying. I want the Daima Goku, I want the Daima Vegeta, and then honestly, like, I'm on board with the Namek stuff that people are talking about. I would love the Beast Gohan Orange Piccolo. I think that's super cool. But I don't think they're going to do Superhero after just doing Superhero for New Year's. I think they're kind of going to hold off. I think that's one we could see this year, if not next year. But I don't think it's going to be for this Anniversary specifically. And the last one here is Super Saiyan God Goku and Beerus. So basically Battle of Gods. I could see this being like Golden Week. You make this like Golden Week, or maybe even like TDC. I think would be fine, or even like next New Year's, like 2027 New Year's. But I don't think this is Anniversary level characters, Anniversary hype level characters for the very first Anniversary of the new decade. I do not. I don't think these guys would carry enough of an Anniversary. I think these guys could. I think Daima Goku and Daima Vegeta definitely could. But I do not think like these guys could. I don't want to say Namek Goku couldn't, because he definitely could. I don't know about a Frieza and Cooler being that. I mean, these two definitely could. The Vegeta and Gogeta, Beast Gohan, Orange Piccolo, those definitely could. On this list, I think we can safely admit that the first and second one are extremely unlikely. And I personally don't see Battle of Gods headlining the Anniversary. Yeah, so exactly what we were just saying, like 100%. That leaves us with option number 3 as the most likely one, which is the UI Goku, Evolution Blue Vegeta, and the Super Saiyan 4s. And with option 4 being possible, but definitely not likely. He joked about putting this option in for the sake of listening to the community, which I'm sure has to do with, you know, the fact everyone wants a Daima Goku, everybody wants a Kid Buu, so throwing that in there, just to kind of be like, haha, yeah, we'll definitely see him. I could see that being kind of like a joke, but dude, if, I don't know, man, just a Evolution Blue Vegeta MUI Goku tag, I think could be so cool. They could do so many cool things with that. And then you got the Super Saiyan 4s, which, again, an inevitable unit that we know is going to happen at some point. So to have it come for Anniversary, I think is fine. And I'm trying to think about the teaser, if anything in there could lead us to think any of these. The only thing I can think of, I mean, it just goes through the sagas, right? So, I mean, it's not really, there's nothing really explicit in there. Unless you want to pinpoint, like, Goku and Vegeta. Like, if you, could this be like another 7th anniversary where the theme was basically just like Goku and Vegeta? Right? Because everything about that anniversary was like about them. So maybe this could be another just like Vegeta Goku centered anniversary, and that's kind of like the theme. So because I mean that would go Evolution Blue Vegeta, MUI Goku, their strongest forms in Super. Then you've got their strongest forms in GT. Then you've got their strongest forms in Daima. I mean, dude, that'd actually be pretty sick. That'd actually be a really cool theme, right? Just like their, obviously it'd be called something else, but like their most powerful forms that they achieve within those 3 sagas, I think would actually be really cool to have as a thing. Now, I don't know if it's going to be Dual Dokkan Fest and then Dual Carnival. I don't know if it's going to be Dokkan Fest and Carnival, Dokkan Fest and Carnival. I would assume Dokkan Fest and Carnival. Keep it that format. I think it's fine. Yeah, dude, I'm like really trying to think about it, but I don't hate this. I absolutely do not hate this. I'd rather have Daima be part 1 because that's the stuff that I really want to see. I really want that, but sometimes they typically, they do sometimes save the more crazy hype, like, characters for part 2. Sometimes I say sometimes, right? But you have to start off with a bang for the Anniversary. You have to kick it off with some crazy strong unit, some crazy hype unit, and that's what builds the energy and like rolls the snowball for the entirety of the Anniversary, right? If you start off with something really crazy and people are hyped up, they're going to join back in, they're going to play a lot, they're going to go crazy, and then you just have to snowball that and ride that energy wave, right? And keep that hype train going. And then you can blow right into the Daima stuff, and people will just be like, yeah. And then you got the, like I said, in the other, you got the guy in the back saying, I want a Namek. What happened to Namek? Where's Saiyan Saga? You know, that kind of stuff. But I don't hate this. All this to say, like, I really don't hate this. Now, if you guys did stick around this long to the end, I do appreciate you guys, and just be careful when posting comments on the video, just because I don't know if there are people who are going to click on this and then click away. So I will say that if you guys are watching the video, if you guys did stick to the end, be very cautious about the kind of comments you make, because I don't want somebody to accidentally post the leak of whatever this is in the comment section, and someone happens to click on it, someone happens to click on the comments, and they're like, oh, well, I just got spoiled by the comments. So just be very careful, and then be very careful what you guys talk about online or where you're looking for stuff if you're trying to avoid the spoilers, or I guess you're not really avoiding the spoilers if you stick around this long, right? But if you're trying to stay away from any like definite spoilers, because these are obviously still just theory. You know, this isn't anything solid, concrete. This is just something that's getting floated around by someone who has known to leak information or get sources from information. So be very mindful about what you guys are saying and what you guys are doing to try to avoid ruining it for anybody else. And always start off everything with a spoiler warning, spoiler content, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so that's going to do it for the video today. I think this is kind of info I just wanted to go over, the fact that we have an idea, a possibility of what could be coming for Anniversary. And yeah, I think it sounds fine. I think it sounds good, man. I'd be hyped for this. Now, I'd be much more hyped if I wasn't spoiled by it, but you know, so is the life of a content creator, where you are constantly looking at stuff online and boom, there it is right in front of your face, and you're like, well, it's already there. There it is. I've already seen it. So time to dive deeper into it, I guess. But yeah, very cool. If these picks are there, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. Just yeah, I hope that this is true, that too many people are not disappointed by the fact that we do have another Evolution Blue Vegeta, or, you know, more of the Super Saiyan 4s or whatever. People are going to be mad about whatever it is no matter what, because people always have their heart set on something, and then when it's not that, people say, dead game, hate this game, screw them, this sucks, fail, whatever, not hype. It's just because it's not what they wanted. But eventually everything's going to get put into the game at some point. Everything will get the nice animations, everything will get all the representation, so I really don't see an issue with this whatsoever. If you guys did stick around to the end of this video, I do appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know what you guys think of these possible units being the part 1 and part 2 for the 11th anniversary. You know, if you guys did stick around this long, just give me like a thumbs up. If you like the character choices, give me a thumbs down. If you do not like the choices, and then maybe we can kind of covertly talk about what your thoughts are on this until everything gets officially announced, and then we can really have that open conversation. But until then, just be mindful of spoilers, be careful, don't spoil it for anybody on purpose, right? Let's try to avoid any of that. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. So like, subscribe, do the thing, and I'll see you guys next time. See you.